And welcome back to Understanding CBD with Max and Steven here every Sunday 2 to 3 on WCBM AM 680. Quick phone number to throw out for you if you want to get in touch with us while we're on the air. The number is 410-922-6680, and I know you'll want to be calling us because of the guests that we have. Now, if you're familiar with that music at all, then you obviously watched his show. I think it was on Shorty about 2010 to 2013. Our guest is Shorty Rossi, star of Animal Planet's Pit Boss. He's an animal rights activist, proprietor of Shorty's Rescue, a fantastic guy. Shorty, I want to welcome you. We're thrilled to have you here, and I got to just start you right off. Why the passion about pets? I see your beautiful pitty in the image that I'm looking at through the video. Talk to us about what makes pets so special for you.
Well, I mean, you got to have a passion for something else besides yourself. You know, whatever that may be, and some people do it in different ways. You know, for me, with a dog is different from a human because humans always are, you know, screwing you in some ways or whatever. You know, and I always say, you know, the most horrible animal on the planet is a human itself, and not a dog. And you know, they get such a bad rap. You know, they get, you know, especially the breed that we protect, the pit bull bully type breeds, that, you know, they're always misjudged. They're always, you know, saying that you know, their behavior is being born to kill, and, you know, and they don't understand, you know, people don't understand the breed. At the same time, they can't defend themselves. And I have a combination with, like, you know, being a little person, you know, with, you know, from being a scientific term is dwarfism. People are always judging me for being, you know, that I'll never amount to anything. You know, you're always going to be that Oompa Loompa, that elf, that leprechaun, or whatever. But I can open my mouth and put you people in place. And so I understand that being misunderstood, I understand how they are being misunderstood. So that's my passion. Yeah, tell them about it.
That's right.
Yeah, and you really compensated by taking over. And your adoption business that you've run, and and charity, if you will, because it's really giving back, is impressive. And it's something I wish a lot of other adoption facilities would do, because if you adopt a dog from Shorty, you have to take care of that dog.
Yeah, or he comes looking
for
you.
Or he comes looking for you.
Back for you, looking for you.
He's coming to get you if you don't. And I think a lot of places don't. But just, from your perspective, Shorty, what's some of the big cause for abandonment of dogs? What are you seeing out there are the reasons?
A lot of it, some of it is financial. They don't realize what they're getting into. The other thing is they think they can get the dog and throw it in the backyard with a bowl of water and food, and when they bring it around people or they bring it in the house, it's destructive or even aggressive because it hasn't been socialized, so they give up on it. I mean, right now during the Christmas season, it's, let's get a puppy, and then, 3 months later, it's in a pound because it's cute when you get it, but when it's pooping all over the place and eating your favorite shoes, it's not funny and cute no more. That's the bad thing about it. And even now with our pandemic going on, and people are adopting left and right because they need some type of companionship because they're not getting the human companionship that they normally get in public when going to work and going out to dinner or nightclubs or whatever you do. So, but what's going to happen when all of this is over, hopefully within the next 6 months to a year? Are they going back to the pound?
Yeah, but speaking of the pandemic, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. So with coronavirus and everything going on right now, what's happening with rescue shelters? I mean, what's the scene like?
Well, let me tell you about us because, currently that you guys probably know, I'm on tour right now.
Uh-huh.
And we're traveling the country by, on an automobile and now a new donated trailer. And we're in Owensboro, Kentucky at a friend's house right now because yesterday when I got here, my freaking oil pan cracked. So I have to rent a car to go to a couple other events at shelters, then come back, and hopefully my car is done by then. But with the pandemic is like what we had to literally reinvent ourselves because most of our income was coming by doing these events, these expos, like where we met you guys in one of the expos either in Maryland or Virginia.
Yep, Maryland.
Maryland, okay, at the World Pets Expo.
Right.
And, that was like 70 to 80% of our income.
Mm-hmm.
And all that got cut. And so we really, had to reinvent, because I'm also in the cigar business, so I got that income coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Living in Mexico, the cost of living is just cheap, but we needed, and so when we really never did online fundraising because we were doing good without it. But now that we weren't able to do expos, fundraising events, we reinvented ourselves, and we're surviving. And like even doing the road trip that we're currently on now, we needed sponsors to help us out, to pay for gas, to pay for, hotels. I mean, we got a hotel sponsor that's, paying for everything. But, but that's why we're going to do these, because normally we'll hold events at stores, at rescue groups, but we can't do it because of COVID. So by us going to these different shelters and giving them a possible, reach to 1.2 million people on social media pages with, who we're connected with, gives them the opportunity to be, they're hit hard. Their donations are not coming in. Even though there's a high adoption rate right now, they still have to, make ends meet. Would you sit down, big guy? Our boys here, obviously. He's like,
Right. So just for those that are just tuning in, we're here talking live with Shorty Rossi of Pit Boss from A&E and his
Animal Planet.
Animal Planet, sorry. Animal Planet.
There you go.
And you probably wouldn't mind A&E, would you?
No.
Yeah, of course not.
On a network.
Yeah,
Same,
exactly. And, explaining that, he's touring the world, the U.S. right now, helping to raise awareness and funds for the much-needed animal shelters, because with all the adoptions there, typically a couple months after that, when people realize the difficulty they're in with actually raising puppies, he's expecting, and everyone is expecting, they're going to need some help. So make sure, we're going to give you some places to follow up with. And one thing, Shorty, with the behaviors of different animals that are adopted, obviously our show Understanding CBD, and just curious, you have experience with any of your pets using CBD?
Actually, we do, of course, and with your product too. We'll get into that in a second, but I wasn't really a believer in it at first. I was like, no, to me, nah. And then we had ended up bringing in this English Bull Terrier who had a complete anxiety issue, separation issues. I mean, people think he's getting murdered when he's screaming.
Wow.
And we understood why he was returned to the pound, because he was breaking out of his kennels. And when we brought him back to our rescue, we picked him up in Central California. The Santa Maria Animal, I can't remember, but it's up there somewhere. And when I was bringing him back, he was trying to break out of his crate inside my car. And I didn't know how he was going to be with the dog that was already in there. And, we ended up having to zip tie everything. And we got him down there, and he was just completely losing it. So I went and took him to the vet the next day, and the vet goes, we're going to put him on this type of medication. I'm like, God, good, it can fix. But it'll take anywhere from 25 to 30 days to completely work. I'm like, no, I can't deal with this for 25 or 30 days. And then somebody had mentioned CBD oil.
Mm-hmm.
And, so someone sent us, and we started using it, and it actually started working.
Imagine that.
Keeping them down, And then we started using it we have a Dogo Argentino that's like 120 pounds, the size of a Great Dane, that he has, skin issues, and he has a paw issue where it doesn't allow us to put cream on him half the time because he's Cujo when you touch him. So, he's a dog that we can never adopt now, but we started using CBD oil products and stuff, and it seemed to even help with his behavior along with the pain and everything. So, we are now a full believer in it. Of using the products, and then you guys sent us some samples, and we've already used that up on Kairos completely. My worker's like, "Where's more?" I'm like, "Well, we got to work with them about that later on.
We got you.
Otherwise, use the other stuff that we got until they send us a shipment." But and going through that, so I was not a believer in it. I was more of being medication, pain medication, psychotic drugs or whatever is the thing to use, which I was, totally wrong. And even we use it too is when, we know the ones that are scared of fireworks, and down in Mexico, they don't need no reason to shoot fireworks. They'll just pick a day. Oh, it's a holiday today. Let's just blow off fireworks. So it really, when it happens and you don't expect it, there's by the time we administer the CBD oil product into them, it has a fast working. What am I trying to say?
Well, it works fast, you know.
Fast working result.
Fast working, sure. Yeah, and then the question I had was, you know, how often, you know, of all the pets that you work with, do you have a favorite?
Of course, my boy that's on the camera.
I was going to ask you.
Out there in Radio Land can't see. He's my, you know.
What's his name?
It took a while to find a replacement for Hercules.
Hercules.
On the show, and, you know, knew that, and we went through a lot of service dog failures because, you know, one issue or the other, one of them, you know, decided that since he got hit with a plastic bat from a kid, she no longer liked kids anymore. Well, that just puts that out of the picture. It's not a little cute chihuahua. It's a big pit bull. We don't need that type of issues. Another one, this had too much of an energy level and didn't want to pay attention. And, you know, then Francis, he got attacked a couple of times by service dogs, of all things, in airports. And so he doesn't want dogs coming anywhere like 2 or 3 feet from him. I mean, Francis is my boy, but this one here, a lady had 6 big dogs, and we're talking Great Dane, Doberman, Rottweiler, Great Pyrenees, you know, and she had to go from a house to a condo and asked me to find him a home. And we brought him back. We're like, oh, God, it's Hercules reincarnated.
Yeah.
And the white, you know, and I mean, we also use him at the rescue to test other dogs coming in because he doesn't have a, you know, a really, you know, he doesn't react in a way that a normal dog would be in attack.
Gotcha.
You know.
So would you say, and this just is a general question, when a dog uses CBD, does it impact the way they react to other dogs, would you say? Or how do you,
because if you're being a pain in the butt or if you're being screaming and everything, you actually increase the anxiety, the level of what's going on in the shelter. And then and even me, the workers, yelling at him, well, shut the hell up. Because he's, you know, you put him out in his kennel, and he starts screaming. So we bring him out to a run on the side. No, he doesn't want that. And then you bring him inside to put him in a crate, and then he's happy in a crate. I'm like, okay, can we, you know? And every morning before eating, he's having a fit, and then they, you know, Pancho, which is one of my workers, you know, puts it, you know, he actually administers it directly. I said, don't put it on his flute. Just directly put it in his mouth.
That's what I was going to ask you. How do you give it to your pet?
Yeah, because that's important too, because I know you're discerning taste and you don't just give your pets anything. And there's a lot of different products out in the marketplace. Have you, you know, kind of gone through, or do you have any advice for people that are looking for something to give their dogs?
Well, for the CBD oil?
Yeah, I mean there's like pet treats and
your product, for the Max and Stevens product, it is working better than the other product that we won't mention that we used before, and, you know, still use what we have left and everything because, you know, with right now we have 26 dogs at our rescue, and probably I want to say, let's see, Mario, Kairos, 3 dogs are on the product, and
you taking notes, Max?
Every day.
Now, let me ask you, are you also using it for any kind of joint pain on them? Are you rubbing it topically on some aches and pains?
We rub it on, well, when they can, on Mario. And Radamantos, that's right.
Radamanto.
Pit bull. Yeah, Radamantos is our 17-year-old pit bull. I mean, we took him in when he was 15. We didn't think he was going to live that long, and I'm probably going to be stuck with him another 3 years. But he has leg problems, joint problems, and he takes it too, and he's able to move around when he does move, you know, more steadily, more easier.
I think that I'm just proud that we were able to help a pitty named Radamanto. I mean, that's awesome.
Radamantos.
Radamantos.
Yeah, I'd like to get through a lot of these names. Now, you know, Shorty, we have a little bit more time on the show today. We got to take a break in just a minute. You able to hang on with us through the break and finish up because we have some more time today.
I don't know where my car's not even moving.
Oh, gee, you could have said something else to make us feel special, but, you know, since you got nothing better to do, all right, we'll take that. So we didn't get a chance to talk about it the first segment, but, you know, Shorty has a cigar line, and there's something unique about the cigar line because he put his name on it. And we got a lot of questions for him about this because, as you know, Max, we put our name on our product too.
We do, indeed.
So for us, it was a big deal. Shorty, what was it like for you to put your name on a product that is going to be out on the market selling? Tell us, did you just pick up anything and say, just smack my name on it?
No. I've been a cigar smoker for years and years, and I slowly became a connoisseur. I, you know, started to learn about it, and so, in 2010, when Pit Boss premiered in January, shortly after that, I started, contacting, different cigar factories and tobacco companies and everything. And all of them but one came back saying, "What can you do for us?" One company says, "What can we do for you?" And I got a hold of who is now a dear friend, Alex, and he's from Cigars International, which is one of the world's largest online retailer of cigars, and asked me what I smoked, and I told him what I was smoking. I like it, so he sent me some blends that of a new line that was coming out by the name of Diesel, and they already had a couple of cigars out. And I told him, I want something, short and fat, and pungent, like Shorty, well,
like Max.
But, there you go. And it's kind of funny. It's just like, and they sent me back, and he goes, "Hey, we're going to send you to Nicaragua." I'm like, "I'm not going
Nicaragua.
Like, yeah, and that's
where they get good leaves, good tobacco there.
Yeah, that's where our tobacco's from. And so they sent me down to the factory, showed me how it was made. I got to learn how to bunch cigars, roll cigars. I mean, for years I was going down there 2, 3, 4 times a year. And then lately, of course, I can't go this year because of COVID. And last year they were having an uprising, so we couldn't go last year. But the thing was that I didn't have to really invest financially. So this was a win-win situation where I wouldn't be losing money. It was supposed to be a limited edition cigar, and 10 years later, it's still being sold. We have 2 lines, the Diesel Shorty Original and the Diesel Shorty Punch, which, they're both strong cigars, but they're, they have my name on it. The proceeds, not only do I get a royalty check from it, but they donate to our charity to help the dog.
That's fantastic. Where do people get their hands on these? Do you sell them on your site? Yeah, go ahead.
They're not locally because, we're not, shared or sold in every brick and mortar store. You can go to cigarsinternational.com and then just type in Diesel Shorty and they'll pop up. And even though you're buying them from them, you're supporting us and Shorty because it's my only income I got right now. But it does go towards the animals too. So, and it's a passion, And then it's just like you joke with people about it, like this. Yes, smoking does stunt your growth. And when you get people that want to be sarcastic, I say I can be right with you. I said, but you're the one with
That's
the shorty.
good. Punch back.
Yeah. You're the one with the shorty in your mouth.
Oh, we watch some of your show. We know what you're capable of.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we definitely.
And I can also empathize with that process that you went through to actually make sure that it was the right thing before you endorsed it. I mean, again, it's it's a passion for Stephen and I in a similar boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like fine wine.
Yeah.
Anything of your processing and going through it, and fine coffee. It's a process when everything is done handmade.
Right.
Yeah, and that quality and attention to detail with your brand is important. As it is for us, and I think that's one of the reasons why we connect so well with you. Not just the great sense of humor and
good product,
fantastic looks.
And we're using it at our rescue. We vouch for Max and Stevens' product.
We always talk about it because people are typically using it for themselves, which, I encourage you to do. But the pets specifically, I mean, it's just such an enormous opportunity to help out your fur babies. Stephen and I are both dog owners, and we love our pets. I mean, they're a part of our family, no doubt. So we can empathize.
Yeah. And I think that's just one of the things, I know we're coming closer to the end here in this segment, and I wanted to really kind of take it back to, obviously, we know that hemp can help and cannabis can help the dogs, but I think the biggest thing we need right now is for everyone to hear Shorty's message that he's traveling across the country telling, which is, pets are great. They do great things for you. And right now, they need our help. There's the shelters, the people that take care of pets are really in some trying times. So, Shorty, what do you say, as we're trailing off to the end here, how do you tell people how they can help the most, and what is it that they can, because one of the biggest problems that I hate is people making donations and then that money not going really to the organizations that need it.
How do they get it to you directly, Shorty?
Yeah. Well, directly is follow us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram at Shorty Rossi. I mean, you can watch the live videos that we're doing on this tour because we're interviewing, each shelter we go to and asking how they need help, and there's information about them. And you also can, so on Facebook, you can donate to, on our Facebook page, or you can, go to our PayPal account, which is paypal.com. paypal.me/Shorty's Rescue to help us out. And at the same time, go to our website, shortysrescue.org, and there's a donate button. You can also see what we do. I mean, we just don't rescue these dogs. We have our own free spay and neuter clinics in our community, free vaccination clinics, and, we do so much more. I mean, we have a pet store in Mexico that funds our rescue called Shorty's, Rescue Pet Store.
Shorty, we have to wrap up. You are a gentleman, hopefully a friend for the future with us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. This means the world to us, and hope to talk to you soon.